So let's continue with the session. We will definitely take other questions, but let's continue first so that we do not miss the entire session. Remember, the session that is being shared with you, we completed the presentation last night, so almost midnight. So I was thinking what to put, what not to put, but I did try to put everything possible that could have been shared. Apart from that, it is not possible to share online. Rest couple of things that can be experienced in person also. Okay, so let's start. Now, answer to the question, those who ask that is it related to certain devas, kindly no screenshot. It is available in the book, so you better get the book. So there are many books. One of the book is by Swami Vivekananda on Gayatri Mantra, and other is Gayatri Mahavigyan by Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya. These are the two people from whom we have taken the contents, so they are the source. So, so all the syllable of Gayatri Mantra symbolizes certain, result. It gives certain result. Okay, and also from that mantra itself, it activates certain glands. Okay, now you can actually, if you are in a certain situation where you need that particular result specifically, it connect to certain god or the devas. Okay, you can particularly chant that devas Gayatri Mantra. So in the same manner, there are 27 of them. There are 27 of them. If you see in this one, first one, so there is already, give me 1 minute. So in the first one, so there is, it talks about Ganesha, which gives success. So tat, when you say tat, remember, so the 24 syllables start from when you chant Om Bhur Bhuva Swa. So that is not from where the Gayatri Mantra starts. Gayatri Mantra starts from Tat Savitur Varenyam. So that is from, so Tat is the first syllable, and that awakens the Tapini gland, which gives success, which gives a person a will to move towards success and find the right way so that he or she can get the success. In the same manner, if someone needs courage, okay, so that particular person can actually chant Haigriva Gayatri Mantra. Okay, so one can chant, if someone needs devotion, he can chant the Gayatri Mantra of Lord Hanuman. If someone needs selfless service, he can chant Gayatri Mantra of Goddess Tulsi. So these are the ways that one chants the Gayatri Mantra. Now, when you chant Om Bhur Bhuvaswa, it gives the Bhakti Yoga. What does it mean? It simply means Gayatri Mantra awakens in a person the Bhakti Yoga, the Jnana Yoga, and the Karma Yoga. These three are the base and foundation of life. Bhakti is above all. When an individual says Om Bhur Bhuvaswa, here the Bhur Bhuvaswa are the three lokas where the incarnated soul function. We'll talk about this in detail. Next come the Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Now this part is about Jnana Yoga. Okay, this part talks about the Jnana Yoga. Why? It says, the first one says that God, Om Bhur Bhuvasa, means the God who is omnipresent. Means you are saying God, the one who is omnipresent, even where my soul functions, the Bhuloka, the Bhuvaloka, and the Swaloka. Then you say Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. So Dhimahi, I pray. To whom? Tat Savitur, the one that who is so brilliant above all. Bhargo Devasya. So the one who is the destroyer of sin and who is divine. So this is the knowledge. Knowledge is the one who is brilliant above all, then who is the destroyer of the sin and who is divine. That is Jnana. That awakens the Jnana Yoga. And the last one is Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Okay, this is Karma Yoga. Means lead me to the right path. Lead me to take the right action. So it actually forces you to take the right action. A person is forced to take the right action. Okay. Now, meaning of Gayatri Mantra. This is something which you can note down. We'll give you plenty of time and we will discuss it properly. So the first one, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. This is Bhakti Yoga. No screenshot. Please, okay, by the way, why not screenshot? You can take a screenshot if you feel like. But why you should note down it through a pen and paper? When you write it, you allow the fifth intellect, the smriti, the memory, to bring it out, to imbibe in the etheric brain cells. So when you write it, you actually putting this in your etheric brain cell. So you better write it. So when you will write it, it will be imbibed, the information will be imbibed into your etheric brain cells. This can really help. And next choice is yours, if you feel like. So Om is the name of God. By the way, this is the generalized one. This is what normally people actually for the masses. This meaning is for the masses. We will actually share the meaning for the yogis also. Okay, we are not taking any question at the moment. You can actually keep on posting the question. We will answer it in one go. Now, the first one is Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So we are going into generalized meaning for the masses. Remember, for the masses. For the yogic one, I will share that separately. So it says Om. The meaning is meaning of Om is the God, the name of God, or rather the God that is the ultimate nada, the ultimate sound, or ultimate source of creation. Then Bhur is the prana swarupa. So the one which is through the life, it reflects everything. So sadhak gets vitality. Okay, the more vitality you have, the more overall resistance you have for everything, even towards the diseases also. Right? So the more prana, so when you say Bhur, so remember Bhur, it gives the power to the physical body, right? It gives more prana to your physical body. How? That we will share. Next is Bhuva, Dukh Nashak, the one who removes the pain. So it removes the pains from your subtle body or Sukshma body, also known as your astral body. Swa, the bestower of happiness. Means good and bad times are basically our perception. It doesn't say that it will heal everything. It is like your perception towards life will be accurate. You will understand why certain thing is happening into your life, and based on that you would be able to act properly. Okay, now this part of Gayatri develops bhakti yoga in sadhaka. He develops a feeling of atmavat sarva bhuteshu, means treat others the way you like to be treated. That is, remember the golden rule. So that is one of the way that one can improve one's life. So this first line itself gives so much of power. Next is Jnana Yoga. So there are, we have taken the entire part, so we'll try to explain all of them. So Tat means that. So that means when we are saying that, we are saying God. Now here, which God? Now We are not specifying the name of God. It is like God, the one whomever you believe in, the brilliant light, the Nirakar. It can be Nirakar Par Brahma also. Now next is Savitur. Savitur is simply also known as the great being, the solar logo itself. Okay, so we have not written in the presentation that this is the Savitur is the name of the solar logo itself. It also means the one who is brilliant. That light is so brilliant, so illumined that one cannot see it. Okay, and Varanium means above all. Above all means here we are not talking about above all means in terms of pose. Here we are talking about above means the one who is giving energy to everything. So it's like the one above means the one which is the source. Now this is where people think that he is above all. It's like when you are saying Tat Savitur Varenyam means the one which is the source through which the entire solar system is receiving blessing. So the source means above means the source from where the entire solar system is receiving the blessing. Then Bhargo. Bhargo itself means that the one which destroys the sin. Now here it says that it also disintegrate or washes the accumulated karma, also known as sanchit karma, right? But in many of the tradition, it is being said that it's not the complete truth. It simply uh, purifies the soul from the habit of generating negative karma. So when an individual is actually works on the habit of removing negative karma, he is actually trying to work on his agami karma also. So it's more like when you are learning the lesson that okay, this is not right thing, this is not right attitude, this is not the right way I should talk to people, this is not the right way I should feel about people, I should take right action, I should think in a right manner. What happens? You are trying to improve, you are trying to become a better person, right? And that awareness comes from this word when you say Bhargo. And then comes the word Devasya. Okay? Devasya means the one who is divine or one who awakens the divinity. Okay? So it's more like the divinity is already there, but you have to recognize that divinity within you. What does it mean? So the divinity which is there in God, that divinity is there in you also, right? That is what makes you the child of God. So you are also the divine light, divine love, and divine power of God. You are made in the same image, the same divine light, the same divine love, and same divine power. So when you are chanting the Gayatri Mantra, you have to focus on each and every word. You cannot think that, I will just chant the mantra. Just by chanting, you will still have benefit, even just by chanting. But when you chant with full awareness of each syllable, you will actually won't be able to complete more than three. The three would be more than sufficient for an individual. Now, Dhimahi is to invoke. So this was Gyan Yoga. So it awakens that knowledge that I have the God who is illuminant like sun, who is the best among the best, who is destroyer of sins, who awakens divinity within me. This reminds you of who you are, which makes you spiritual in day by day. So this is the way that one can actually understand, and this is the way by this syllable itself, and this complete syllable, if you use all this complete syllable together properly and meditates on it properly, you will realize that this will remove the avidya from the system. Next is karma yoga. It says dhiyo yona prachodya. Now this dhi, remember, is the buddhi, intellect. Now this is fivefold. Remember the five heads of Vedmata Gayatri, right? So what was that? I will keep on repeating until unless it is completely imbibed in your system. That is, the dhi is the first, the intellect it is dhi, then medha, prajna, dhriti and smriti. Dhi is the spiritual heart where a spiritual person receive the entire information or the ideas or the information, the knowledge and wisdom. And then next is medha. Medha is the higher intelligence. Then prajna is the higher awareness. Then dhriti is higher will, and the smriti is the memory. So it says dhiyo yona prachodayat, to lead me to the right, lead my intellect so that I can walk to the right path. So this makes, and this is an amazing thing, that one is being forced. It simply says one is forced to take the right action. One cannot choose, okay, I will do it later, maybe some other day. No, this is the time, this is when I have to do it. There is no other day. So one does not postpone his responsibility, does not run away from his responsibility, and does the right thing. Remember, keep the right thing in your mind. So when you do right thing, your duty properly, you becomes the karma yogi. Okay, you do your duty properly, and by doing the right thing, you protect yourself from the negative karma also. So your agami karma also becomes the right, is filled with righteousness. That you have to keep in your mind. So by doing so, you do not worry about the karma anymore. So you have to chant the mantra. Along with chanting the mantra, you have to be aware with the intuition that is coming from inside. And you just have to understand, okay, this is the thing. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is how it's going on with me. Now, this is the information that has come to me from inside. I have identified my challenge. Now you have to find the way to solve this. Now, how to find that? That you can again chant the Gayatri mantra to get guidance about. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to share the Vedic meaning of each and every syllable. So it says Om Bhur Bhuvaswa. We know that Om is the divine Nada. Nada means the divine sound, the sound of creation, or to address the supreme God. Okay. Bhur Bhuva Swa. Bhur means the Bhuloka. Bhuva is the Bhuvaloka. Swa is the Swaloka. Okay. So we know that Bhuloka, Bhuvaloka, Swaloka. Right? Three lokas. Now the soul has mental body, astral body, and physical body. The physical body function on Bhuloka. Okay. The astral body function on Bhuvaloka. The mental body and the causal body, the body of the soul, function on Swahaloka, lower and higher Swahaloka. So you are saying the God who is omnipresent in all the lokas, even where I, the soul, function and beyond. Listen this very carefully. When you say Om Bhur Bhuva Swa, I'm saying to the God who is omnipresent, where I the soul am functioning. So I the soul am functioning on what lokas? Bhuloka, Bhuvaloka, and Swaloka, and the God is even beyond that, even the lokas where I am not functioning. So you are talking to that God, okay, the omnipresent God. This is the main reason. When you say that, it awakens divinity in you. It awakens bhakti in you, devotion in you. Okay, so this is what you can listen and note down. Next is Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Now in this syllable you start with Dhimahi, the last one. Okay, so Dhimahi means I invoke. Okay, Dhimahi means I invoke. Invoke to whom? Tat means that. Savitur, the solar logo, or the one who is brilliant. Varanium, the one who is above all. Bhargo, the one who is destroyer of all the sins and the attitude and habits through which the sin is being generated. He is the destroyer of all that. Devasya, the one who is divine. What exactly the full meaning is? Dhimahi means I invoke to that whose name is Savitur, or who is brilliant, who is above all, who is destroyer of all sin, and who is divine. And I see that divinity within me. Now, this is the line which you have to experience when you say that. And I see that divinity within me also. So I am one. I am one with that God. This is who I am. I am made in your image. This gives the knowledge. Okay. Now, by such contemplation, you have to you have to tell yourself, I am becoming illumined. And then you have to remind that virtues are growing in all the layers of my being. I am being saturated with these virtues, these characteristic of God. So this is, you have to say at the same time, visualize, or you have to feel. And the last one is Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. What does it mean? That God inspire our intellect, wisdom, and lead us on righteous path. May my intellect, the intellect of our family members and all of us be purified, and may He lead us on the righteous path. Okay, so this is what it means to when you say Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. So this is how the yogis, they use this mantra when they chant. And when you chant with this meaning, it will, when you do it even once, you will feel that something, you are being filled with something, and you'll feel a different level of calmness, sweetness, and tenderness in your entire being. Okay, remember the 5 stage of intellect. Dhi means spiritual heart, Medha, the higher intelligence, the Prajna, the higher awareness, Dhriti, the higher will, and Smriti, the memory. So when an individual invoke for the blessing, when an individual does a regular Gayatri Mantra chant, remember, even 3 is more than enough. If you remember the story that I have shared in one of my previous sessions, that how the Gayatri Mantra came on earth. So it came on earth through the heart of the great sage Vishwamitra, right? If you remember the story, the when I shared it. So the story was that he was a king in his initial days, and he has a guru uh, who was a great saint, Brahma Rishi Vasistha, and he wanted a cow from that great sage, and when he refused, he attacked on him, and all his the king's men were killed just by the rays of the staff he had. No weapon, nothing. And he was astonished that how is it possible. Then he realized that the most powerful person than a king are great ones who have achieved illumination. And he decided to become a Brahma Rishi. On the process of becoming from a king to a Brahma Rishi, he he there were many times where he actually failed, or he gave away foolishly his spiritual siddhis and powers just for the show off of spiritual power. When he helped the Trishanku from, remember the story of Trishanku who wanted to go to heaven with the body, and he created a, you know, he created a heaven, separate heaven for Trishanku itself using his power. And then later on, he realizes that he lost all his spiritual powers, making a different plane itself. And later, he lost again his spiritual power because of lust, right? Remember the story of Menaka, right? So, and after so many mistakes, he realized that he were being deviated. So he had been deviated from his path, and then he become a serious practitioner, and he started with his serious penance. And then Lord Brahma appeared in front of him, and he said that now you became a rishi today. Then he asked question, why I can't become a Brahma Rishi? Then he said, only a Brahma Rishi can make a Brahma Rishi. I cannot make you Brahma Rishi. What happened next? So from the saint, he was very jealous of, he was not, the saint he never liked. Now, ultimately, at the end, he had to go to that saint itself. He went to Vasistha ashram, and the moment he entered to Vasistha ashram, so the moment he entered to Vasistha ashram, he realized that his guru Vasistha himself was praising his effort. He was saying that Vishwamitra is a wonderful disciple, and he had been doing great penance. He deserved all the success in his life. So out of guilt, he just ran, and he just kept his feet on the big toe of his guru Vasistha, and he was sorry for that, and he said, Gurudev, please take me under your guidance. The moment he does that, what happens? He attains samadhi just by touching his forehead to his teacher's feet. And during the samadhi itself, he was in so deep samadhi, and he felt that the Gayatri Mantra started emanating from his heart. So that is how the Gayatri Mantra came out, and the moment the Gayatri Mantra started emanating from his heart, he became the Brahma Rishi. So remember, when you chant Gayatri Mantra, it has power to create many miracles. So Gayatri Mantra is also known as Kamadhenu. Gayatri Mantra is also known as Kalpa Riksha. So it gives many siddhis and many miracles. But remember, your goals should not be siddhis. So we'll talk about the benefit of Gayatri Mantra. What is the benefit of Gayatri Mantra? The Gayatri Mantra awakens and increases the devotion towards God. When an individual chants Gayatri Mantra every day, It awakens the devotions towards God and reverence towards the Guru. It makes a person intuitive since it is being purifying all the five level of inner intellect, so a person becomes intuitive day by day. So a person actually understand this is the right decision. This is the right decision. This is the right understanding of the situation, and this can be the right action I can take. It also awakens the wisdom, knowledge, and discernment. Person understand what is right and what is wrong, what is for the body and what is for the soul. It improves the health, vitality, and well-being of a person. It gives a person inner strength to fulfill his or her responsibility. Remember the last line? It forces a person to do the right thing or follow the right path. Also, it awakens the 24 dormant qualities. These 24 syllables, remember, it awakens 24 glands, and through those 24 glands, the 24 qualities gets awakened. Now, a person can choose based on his awareness if he or she wishes to awaken a specific quality. Like someone wants to awaken discipline, or someone wants to awaken success. Someone wants more success, then he can chant Gayatri Mantra. The first syllable, Tat, is the first syllable. So when you chant Tat, Tat itself awaken a gland which gives success.